Hello. Hi, Amy. Hi, Karen. Hi, Ruby. Hello, Lauren. Good to see you. Welcome to the webinar.
Hello.
Great. Hello.
Hello. Hey, Lauren. Welcome.
Hi, how are you? So
Very
good to see you.
Great to have you here. Hello, Marsha. Hi, Ruby. Hi, Amy and Lauren.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
And hello, Sandhya. Pleased to be here with you today.
Yes. Delighted. I just zoned out of a chat and here I am.
Hello,
Amazing.
Yeah. So let's just wait
Great.
for everyone to come in. Yeah.
Three minutes to go, and then we'll start dot at 7:30 IST.
Hello, Vivek.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, Vivek. Good to have you here.
I'm blessed to be here.
Yeah.
So I just to in a single minute. So I am appearing for the ACC exam in April first week, and we joined for PCC training with Regal Academy, and I expect to complete my PCC in next 1 year. That's what I'm saying.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you.
I hope this webinar
Yeah,
kind of
definitely.
helps you understand the process.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you.
Sure.
Hey, good evening, Sandhya. How are you?
I'm well, Sangeeta. Great to have you here. Just saw you sign in.
Good evening.
Thank you. Best wishes. Great, Devishi. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening to everyone.
Evening.
Good to see you, Bosco. Welcome.
Hi, Sandhya. Sorry, I'm not fully available, but I'll follow the maximum I will be able to. Thanks for the invite, and hope we get it.
Sure, sure. Great to have you here.
Good evening,
Thanks.
Srinivas. Good evening, Sapnil.
Hello, Sandhya. Hello, Debishi. Sorry, I was on mute actually. Yeah, thank
No
you.
problem. No problem.
Hi, Sandhya.
Hey, Sunita. Long time.
Yes, long time. How are you?
I'm very well. Very well. Wow. This takes me back, what, 7, 8 years?
Yeah, 8 years.
Hi, Marsha.
So it's 7:30 and it's a time that we start our webinar. So as people are coming in and joining from different part of the world, I'm super excited to bring the second webinar. And today we are going to demystify the PCC credential application parts. And let's start by knowing each other a little more. So over to you, Sandhya. I am the host for this session and will be helping all of you with the links and whatever information that you need to complete your credentialing process with power and passion. So over to you, Sandhya. our director for credentialing. And all of you know that she's passionate about the coaching education. And what is not there in LinkedIn is her itching is to serve the world, make it a better place. And that's what she does through coaching. So most of you know her, and those of you don't know her will know her better in the next hour or so that we are there together. So over to you, Sandhya.
Thanks, Debishi. Thank you. Passion it is, you're right. And the Ichinen and the Ikigai to just, work towards creating those ripples of transformation. Thanks so much. So I'd love to know where each one of you has signed in from today, your country, your city, whatever works for you. Just put that in the chat box. I mean, it's so amazing. There is a poll that we'd created for this. We'd love to hear from you. And it feels great that those ripples will reach different parts of the world, right? And
I love the way the numbers are moving. There's 50-50, and then it's changing.
yeah, so it's the ripples going global, correct? That's the beauty of all the virtual meetings that we have and the webinars we have nowadays. Now, while we talk about where we are from, I've been inundated with questions about how and what and how do we apply of all of those about all levels of credentials. So firstly, where are we? All levels of credentials would mean that where am I? Each one of us, if you could answer that, where are you in your journey? Is it at the certification level, coach certification? Have you completed your ACC? Where are you on your credentialing journey? Because this will help us, identify where you are from, what your requirements are, and then of course go ahead and design and develop more webinars in the future.
So I request people who are actually polling for others to mention what does that mean in the chat box. I can see 9 of you voting for others. So why don't you share it on the chat box?
It could be renewal, it could be just anything. If you're looking at ACC renewal, if you're looking for so wherever we are on this journey, there's lots and lots to process. There is the coach training, there is the the mentoring, the certification, the what else? The biggest challenge that everyone is facing nowadays is what application path to use. And we would love to know where you are facing a challenge. That is, if you are, and what your questions are. We can answer some here, right here in this session today as we go along, and some questions I'll take at the end of the session. But let me tell you a story about the kind of challenges that people are facing, the coaches are facing. So here's this is still in action. There is a coach who has completed their level 2 education. Coach training is done. for some reason, went ahead and used the portfolio application path. Now, this is where all the challenges come up. Various coach training schools in the world, various paths, approved for all kinds of coach training, whether it's level 2, level 1, ACSTH, ACTP, all of those. And some of it is old terminology. There is the level 1, level 2, and level 3. That is the new terminology that ICF uses now. Then there are multiple application paths, that is 3 application paths. And there could be a, if you've done something from one program from X training school and another program from another training school, and then when you want to apply, which one do you use? So it's so many programs and 3 application paths, and therefore there's a number of permutations and combinations that may come up. So going back to the story, the coach used the portfolio path, spoke to me while working on the application, and I guided her to the level 2 application. Now, level 2 application done, fantastic, but the certificate uploaded with the level 2 application was not correct, and ICF sent an email asking for verification. So right now, that's in process. So this is just one case, right? People don't even know what path to take, what their coach training certificate means, and which one to upload, and all of that. And those are the challenges that I hear on a day-to-day basis. That's what's driven me to do this webinar today. So I'd love to hear about your questions, about your challenges. Please put it in the chat and we can address it. Now, while we will address each of these paths, that is the application paths explained, 3 of them, at the end of it, we'll take up whatever questions. As we go through it, some of your questions will get answered. And if you don't have any questions, you'll get heaps of information. So your credential, that is the PCC credential, that's what we are talking about today. 3 different paths, level 2 or the old ACTP, level 1 ACSTH portfolio path. Or perhaps you want to renew your PCC credential or your ACC credential. Let's see how it works. Let's begin at the beginning, where let's talk about the credentialing criteria first. In the world of coaching, everything is measured in the unit of hours, right? There's coach training hours, there's coach practice hours, and there is mentoring hours. So we are all aware that for ACC, you need 60 coach training hours, and for PCC, you need 125. The coaching practice hours, that is your actual experience in coaching, you need 100 hours there for ACC and 500 for PCC. Mentoring, of course, then the minimum requirement is 10 hours. With that in place, let's just quickly look at the process. All of these 3 criteria, what does it mean? You need to complete an ICF accredited coach training program, and so that you can acquire the necessary training skills and competencies, learn about the ICF competencies, and then you accumulate coaching experience by working with clients. So you document that, create your own log, and you get to the 100 hours or the 500 hours that you are required to complete for PCC. And of course, there's mentor coaching. The mentor coaching is important. The mentoring, rather, is the real essence here. You can't just jump from accredited coach program to an application, ACC or PCC. And after that, you put in your application. Once the mentoring is done, the performance evaluation, how performance evaluation will happen, how your coaching conversations will be assessed, how the transcript will be assessed. It depends totally on the path you are going to follow. Out of these three paths, how it's going to be done, we'll just get into the details. As in the details, we first come to the level 2 ACTP path. Debashi, do we have any questions that I need to address right now, or can I just go ahead?
We have a couple of questions, but very quickly, Rajneesh wants to know, what needs to be done for ACC renewal. Is mentoring required for renewal? Is that necessary?
Yeah, let's come to, I've got a special section on renewal. Rajneesh, can we just wait for that, please?
And we also have questions from Sunita. Maybe, we can answer all the questions at the end, but this was linked to ACC.
Yeah, you do need mentoring for ACC. And, at the end of this, every topic we discuss, and at the end of the webinar as well, we will provide you with some links so that you can explore the relevant pages on the ICF website in detail. Once once this webinar is done, it's done, right? But you need to explore later. So we will be providing you with some links in the chat box so that you just go to the relevant pages on the ICF website, because just to navigate that website, sometimes coaches do get lost there and don't know where to search for the correct information or for the relevant information. So Debashi, as we go along, let's post the links for the relevant sample application forms, right? Can we do that, please? So as we said, ICF Credentials and Standards does offer multiple application paths. And the application path that you take, each one of you takes, is dependent on the accreditation type and the coach education that you have received. Depends on the coach training school where you enrolled. So talking about the level 2 path first. So for those of you who fully completed or graduated from a level 2 or ACTP program, what does this mean? What is included in the level 2 path? So the coach training programs that are approved under the level 2 category, it includes education hours, mentoring hours, and the performance evaluation, which means that your mentor coach will be assessing your recorded or live coaching conversation and also assessing your transcript if required, depending on the coach training school you're enrolled in. All of these things are included here. What that means is that the level 2 accredited training programs have built all of these three things into their education hours. That is education hours, mentor coaching, and performance evaluation. So what do you need to do next for your credential? You submit your program certificate, the correct level 2 certificate, please. You will have to check with your coach education provider, the training school, which is the correct program certificate, and your coaching experience hours in your application. The review process takes about 4 weeks. And then once the review is done, you take the ICF credentialing exam. So one big question that always comes up is, how much does this cost? For an ICF member, if you're a global member, you pay $375. And for non-members, it's $525. So let me also show you what the application, the first page, that is the dashboard of the sample level 2 application form looks like. This is what it looks like. And I mean, it's multiple pages. So I've just got the dashboard here, which tells us all that is required from you to fill up this application. And we'll provide you with the link right now so that you can copy it, paste it somewhere in another document or something and save it. And, browse through this sample application later. You need your education, the kind of the courses that you have attended, the programs you have attended, your client coaching experience. And then once that is done, you submit it, wait for 4 weeks. Once they approve the application, you'll be good and ready to set up the exam. That's what it means. Any questions about the level 2 form, level 2 style, where mentoring and the coach training hours, that is the education hours, and the performance evaluation is included? Is there anything I can address right now?
So Swapnil has a question, not like, let me, read this. If someone has completed level 2 certification with education hours, mentoring hours, and performance evaluation, should they go for ACC or wait and go for PCC? They go for ACC, would they have to go do education hours, mentoring hours, and performance evaluation again? Okay.
No. They will need to fill in the form again, of course. So Swapnil, I'm guessing you're asking this because you may have only about 100 hours right now.
That's correct.
Yeah. And then later on you want to go in for, but your education is 125 hours. Have I got that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you go in for ACC right now, you can come right back and fill in the application for level 2 PCC later on.
Okay. But then I don't have to again go through the training, mentoring hours and all that.
No.
Okay. Got
I have a question. Can I raise?
Sure.
We have Lauren also, Debashish, just, is it okay? Like, if we take Lauren?
No
That's
problem.
okay. You could go. You could go. That's no problem.
Thank you. Lauren, why don't you unmute and speak?
May I ask, so for the performance evaluation, Sandhya, is it you that's giving us the performance evaluation? Or that's what I'm not clear on. After we do our mentoring hours, and who does the performance evaluation?
So if you are, whether it's me or any other mentor, Lauren, this is a very open program where it's not just me.
Yes.
It could be anybody's, there's lots of people from different parts. So if you've joined a level 2 training program, then your performance evaluation will be done by your mentor. But if you have joined an ACSTH program, then ICF assesses your recorded conversation for ACC. If one recorded conversation for ACC will be uploaded with the application, and the transcript will also be uploaded. If you're applying for PCC, then 2 recorded conversations along with, this is what it is. Then 2 recorded conversations along with the transcripts will be uploaded with the application. That is the level 1 or the ACSTH application, where it is only education hours. Mentor coaching or mentoring may be provided by the organization, but it is not a part of the education hours. It's not a comprehensive package. For that, the training organization has to get approval to be a level 2 organization, training organization. The coach training school has to apply for that. And there are some, that's a different matter, how those applications work, because that works between the training school and ICF. But we need to know where we are, what our certificate is saying, and what we've enrolled for.
Thank you so much, Sandhya. We have
Thank you. Thank you.
Debashish asking a question. Debashish, you can
Yeah,
unmute and-
actually, my question is that I did my SCTP certification, I mean SCTP training program from Ericsson International somewhere in 2019. Then I got my SCC on 2019. Can I use the same certificate for the application of level 2 in the PCC?
How many hours does your certificate say? That is
It is 160 hours training hours.
Yes, you can.
And because I was having the impression that I have to submit 2 recording, but now what I see that 2 recording is not a necessary for the application, right?
Yes. But you must contact your coach training school and find out, and your whether your mentoring has been done or no.
There was 6 mentoring done, and then later on I also did more than another 6 mentoring separately with different PCC coaches.
Sure.
So that way, I think I have also more than 500 hours. So do you think that I should now go ahead for the application?
So, Debashish, I believe you can, but your certificate should say a whole lot of things. You know, you should check for education hours, and I'm going to come to that. I'm going to talk about how to figure out what path you will follow.
Okay.
There is a survey that you might need to take. So let's talk about that in a few minutes, please.
No problem. I mean, since I'm also chapter member, the Delhi chapter member,
Yes,
I will also contact you. It is required.
Yes, absolutely. Anytime. My email ID is here, and you will have my phone number also.
Yeah. Gitanjali has already given me your email for contacting you.
Sure.
Thank you.
We'll get in touch. Definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thanks.
Yeah. So just like I was explaining to Lauren, this is how it works. In level 2, the mentoring and performance evaluation is included. So you have only those few tabs on the application, the dashboard. But here you don't. So mentor coaching or mentoring recorded sessions have to be verified by your mentor, and then you upload it to your application. And you'll need your program certificate, you'll need coaching experience, and you will also have to wait for 14 weeks for this application to be approved. Once it's approved, you take the credentialing exam, and this is what it costs. $650 US for members, and non-members it's 800. Let's look at the dashboard. So you'll notice that it has a pretty long list of things. Your education, your certificates that you've accumulated, That is for 125 hours. That's what you need, right? For PCC, or 100 hours worth of coach education for ACC. Mentor coaching. And in this, you will have to, in this application, there is a section, the mentor coaching page. The whole page is about mentor coaching, where your mentor's details and the start date of mentoring, end date of mentoring, mentors details, as in mentors, the mentor should be in good standing, right, as a mentor coach, and the mentor's credential must be valid. All of that is checked by ICF. And assessing of the conversations, uploaded conversations, will be done by ICF assessors, totally anonymous. You'll never know. Client coaching experience, you'll take an undertaking about how many hours of coaching you've done, and then performance evaluation 1 and performance evaluation 2. So under performance evaluation 1, you will upload the audio and the transcript. And for performance evaluation 2, you'll upload the recorded audio and the transcript. That's the difference between the level 2 and the level 1 or ACSTH application form. Portfolio path is the third one. Now, for the portfolio path, this is for non-ICF accredited programs. So I've been working with a couple of people from Europe where they're doing a lot of executive coaching programs through universities. They are talking about, they are all aligned with ICF competencies, but they are not ICF accredited programs. That's where the students, these coaches, take the portfolio path for the application. Or if you've got a blend of CCs and non-ICF accredited programs. So if there's a, like a complete bouquet of things and not a level 2 or a ACSTH approved program, that's when you go and take a portfolio path. What you need is education hours. You've really got to ensure here that you submit the curriculum with robust documentation for these applications, for the portfolio path. It's always a good idea to, that's a process that I follow for all portfolio path applicants. The moment I see university degrees and diplomas and qualifications and non-ICF accredited, I usually either I write to ICF or get the, request my mentee to write and check that these are the qualifications, these are the certificates, and are we good to go for the portfolio path? Before I go into the entire mentoring process, I do that just to be on the safe side. So it works, and these are non-ICF accredited programs that we are talking about. Then the mentoring is done and performance evaluation is also separate. An ICF assessor will evaluate. It is not included as part of the education hours. Again, $750 is the charges for ICF members and $900 for non-ICF. Same thing, recorded sessions need to be verified by the mentor and then uploaded, and then an ICF assessor assesses them. You must include program certificate and coaching experience. And this application takes about 18 weeks to verify all of this. Similar path, similar requirements. It's, education first with all the documentation. There is a separate tab for that. Your mentor coach details, the start date, end date, mentor's details, client coaching experience, 100 hours, 500 hours, whatever you have. Performance evaluation 1, performance evaluation 2. So audio and transcript 1, audio and transcript 2. Once it is approved in 18 weeks, you go ahead and take the exam. That's how it is done. So I think you've got all the links in the chat box right now.
Yes, all three of us been shared.
Fantastic. And sometimes people also have this combination. You may have done something from, you may not have completed a level 2 program completely. You may have done 2 small bits, 2 programs. Let's say it's a executive coaching program and an NLP program or a organizational development, whatever the combination. You've done all of that. You haven't completed something. Again, you will go not take the ACTP or level 2 path. You will be taking the ACSTH path, the level 1 path. If a level 2 program is not completed properly, it's, you know, the way it is required to be in that particular training school, then you have to take the ACSTH path. Now, what next? Let's look at it. You know, I've been talking for so long and just hoping that I haven't confused any one of you. So 3 parts to your PCC credential. This is a beautiful table here. We're looking at coach education, coaching experience, mentor coaching, and all of these criteria. And we are looking at the level 2, level 1, and the portfolio path here. A quick look at that. And honestly, you don't need to take notes and you don't need to take, get screenshots. We are sending a link for this as well. So coach education for level 2 is completion of a level 2 or a full ACTP program, including final assessment. Including the assessment, the mentoring, and the final evaluation by the mentor. If you are applying through the ACSTH path, of course, 125 hours of coach-specific education through the program that you've attended, or part of an ACTP program, that's when you take the ACSTH path. Portfolio, of course, is if it's a non-ICF program, or it's a blend of ICF, non-ICF, and a blend of CCEs, that kind of thing, then you take the portfolio path. Experience, of course, for PCC, as I mentioned earlier, is 500 hours with 25 or more clients, of which 450 hours are paid. At least 50 of these hours must occur within 18 months of submitting your credential application. Why am I getting into these details? Because these are lots of questions are asked in this area. And we will give you the link so that you can check on this whenever, whenever a question arises, just go in and have a look. For level, sorry.
Yeah, we are having a couple of questions at this
Sure,
point. You want to
sure.
answer them? Okay.
Of course.
So, very quickly, I think Prem Mishra had a very basic question. What is the difference between ACTP and ACSTH? So I hope that's answered through the webinar. If there's any confusion, you can let us know. Amy is asking, is it better to do it ACC before PCC? I have almost all my hours for PCC and coach training hours and the mentorship. If level 2, do we still submit the calls and transcript or is it in house?
So for level 2, it is in-house.
Hmm.
Level 2 is in-house. Let's say you've enrolled for a level 2 program. That is, you'll do your basically maybe an executive coaching program or an NLP program or an emotional intelligence program, whatever your training organization has to offer. You do that level 2 program. You will be mentored for PCC, and your mentor coach will review your recordings or live coaching sessions.
Yeah. So Amy has more questions in the same line. Is the final assessment the review of 2 calls, or is it something else?
Sorry?
Is the final assessment, I think, like he's referring to what we have to submit. Amy, do you want to like unmute and quickly, share?
Sure. Yeah, I think I figured it out actually. I think in that first box where it says coaching education and it says including the final assessment, I was thinking that might be the calls, but I think maybe that's the exam we sit for as far as the competencies go. Is that correct?
So the exam comes later, Amy.
Okay.
Once your application is approved, we are talking about the application parts right now. And as I mentioned, once the application is approved in, let's say, 4 weeks or 12 weeks or 18 weeks, it's all dependent on the path you choose, correct? Once that is approved, then you take the exam. And our next webinar will be about the exam.
Okay. So just to be clear, in the coaching education box there on this slide where it says level 2 ACT path, including the final assessment.
Final assessment of your coaching skills, your practical coaching skills. The exam comes later, and that comes for everyone, whichever path you do.
Okay, perfect.
And a quick update, if I may add, that if you are moving from ECC to PCC within a year, you don't have to retake the exam. But
Correct.
if you are moving one level and you have given the CKA 12 months earlier, you have to retake the exam. So if it's a good idea to actually move from one level to another level within 12 months of clearing your CK exam. So this is CK, which is the new format that I'm talking about.
So this is if you have the hours and if you have the education and you can, let's say you've done your ACC in 2023 and you feel you have the coach education, maybe 125 hours for PCC and the coaching hours and everything that is required. If you apply this year within 12 months, you don't have to take the CKA. That's how it works. So Swapnil, to your question, that is something that you might want to keep in mind.
Sure, Sandhya. That really helps actually.
So of course, mentor coaching, we spoke about, completed in level 2. And in level 1, it is separate. It is not included. An ICF assessor is going to do the performance evaluation. You need to submit 2 recorded coaching sessions with transcripts. And mentor coach, of course, has to be PCC or MCC for, and it has to be over a minimum of 3 months. Even for portfolio path, you need to submit 2 recorded coaching sessions with transcripts. Credentialing exam is required for all 3 paths, unless it is the situation that Debashi just mentioned. If you've taken the credential exam in, let's say, 2023, you can skip it if you apply this year within 12 months and before the year is over.
Right. So in my case, I have given the old format of CK and the new format of CK. Although, like, I got my ACC in 2022 and PCC in 2023. So
Because at that time, Debashi, when they changed last year, they said ICF's, made it mandatory for that you have to take the exam for every at every level, no matter what.
right. Yeah.
This change has just come late last year.
Yeah. Right. Bhaskaran Rajamani
Yeah.
has got a question. Do you want to
Yeah,
unmute?
Sandhya ji, thank you very much for this. This is a fantastic presentation of all three. So I would belong to the first level, right? Level 2 ACTP path with you as a mentor from Symbiosis, right?
No, you've upgraded. You are level 2, yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Application fees, of course, is $1 million question. And my only suggestion here is, and that's the tip I keep giving to everyone, don't go and take the membership. Don't sign up for the membership just before you apply, just to get the discount. Because if you calculate well, it's going to cost you more. So do this in a staggered manner. Go in for the membership first so that you can get the benefit of that membership later on or through that year.
There's another question from Sunita. Very quickly, if Sandhya want to answer.
Sure.
I have enough coach training hours and coaching hours for PCC. However, I was advised by my mentor coach with whom I worked for my ACC renewal in 2021 not to use the portfolio path. What is your view on this? Sunita, do you want to unmute?
Sunita, yes, I would love to.
Yeah, hi, Sandhya. Yeah, I just wanted to get your view on this.
But I will have to really see what your qualifications are and what each certificate says, right, Sunita?
Well, I've done the ACC, as you know, the coach training with Symbiosis, where you were the facilitator. That was the start. Post that, I've done a number of programs through the ICF portal itself, being an ICF member.
So you have
right?
CCEs, right? So you
Yeah,
have.
I have CCs and I've done a number of other coach training programs. Couple of them not accredited by ICF. For example, the PQ program, Positive Intelligence. Then there are other programs that are not accredited, but they are supportive of coach development. May not be core competencies, everything, but yeah, resource development and a mix of core competencies. Yeah, so that's how it is.
Portfolio path.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Portfolio path, and just reach out if you need anything more specific.
Sure. Thank you so much.
And last question from, related to the paths is from Prem. He's saying, I've completed live and executive coaching programs. I'm just about to finish organizational development coaching program and doing mentor coaching with you. How do I know if I'm doing level 2 ACTP or level 1 ASHTH path program? So
Prem, you know it because you enrolled for a level 2 program. The mentoring is included in that. Your certificate will say so. That whatever certificate you have right now says that it's part of a level 2 program. Anything else, Debashi?
Bhaskaran is asking, if I submit my application on, say, April 1st, 2024, is it true that I should have done at least 50 hours 18 months prior to April?
50 of these hours must occur within 18 months of submitting your credential application. Yep.
So it's basically about a past that we are talking about, right? So 50 hours should be fresh as 18 months when you apply.
Yeah. It's not as if you've done those 50 hours 10 years back, that kind of thing.
Okay, thank you.
I think when we all talk about, the next webinar, Sandhya, like when you're talking about the examination, what should be the mindset a person should have, like moving from the coach education to submitting your credentials and your recording to giving the exam, like, when we stitch all three of them, I think the entire journey will be fully demystified. I can see questions are kind of, moving towards that direction.
Yeah, right now it's like mystery and mystery. So lots of questions. I hope by the next webinar we're going to be able to demystify this whole concept. And I just feel it should be a journey. It's a journey, and the challenges in terms of not knowing what to do and not being able to find the right place and the right information on the website, or not being able to talk to anyone, that is a challenge, correct?
Yeah, absolutely right.
I
Yeah.
hope we can address that. I mean, of course, some of the attendees today know me, but the idea is to address this for everyone.
Right. And chapter is a place, I can see a lot of our members and people from different chapters as well. It is a place where, you can ask, it's a safe space to ask this question. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and happy to have any questions if anybody's interested to join the Delhi NCR chapter, right? You can put in the chat box and I can share the information to do so. Right. So, Sandhya, what's next?
What's next is, if you're already a PCC accredited coach and you want to renew that and you don't want to go to the next level right now for whatever reasons, what does renewal take? And I think we've had a lot of questions around that from our own chapter, right? Rajneesh, this is especially for you. So even if it's whether it's ACC or PCC, it's the same criteria. You need to have at least 40 hours of continuous coach education. That is the CCE. That's what CCE stands for, continuous coach education. In the 3 years since the initial PCC award, let's say we are in 2024 right now, and you need to renew your PCC credential this year. It means that you should have, in the last 3 years, accumulated or earned 40 hours of CCEs. And 24 of these CCEs need to be in core competencies, and the remaining 16 hours can be in resource development or core competencies. How do we figure that out? Debashi, can you please request you to put out that link? There's lots of details there. I'm going to present some here, but it'll be forgotten the moment this webinar is done. So the link there should help you.
I've shared the link and would invite everybody to go. There are, different pathways.
Yes.
And there are sample PDFs. Everything is given out there if you follow the link. Sorry, it's a long because I've not signed in. But once you sign in as a member, you get to see the resources. Even if you're not signed in, you can use this link and understand what's happening.
Yeah. So it's 24 plus 16, right? That's 40 hours. 24 must be in core competencies, 16 hours resource development. That's why, and that's why it's always divided into resource or core hours. What does core hours mean? That it is around approved for core hours where you're looking at, where you're learning about the ICF core competencies. And resource development can be, there are various programs, courses available on the ICF website. Now, at least 3 of these 24 hours should be in 24 CCEs, must be in coaching ethics. That's the criteria for renewing your ACC and your PCC. So there is no application I can talk about right here, because to renew your credential, you need to go to your profile. You need to submit the online credential renewal application with proper documentation about all of these hours. And you can assess this by logging into your ICF profile. You'll see a link to your credential renewal application at the bottom of that page where your profile page. Scroll down under your picture, you will notice a row that says My Credentials. You just have to explore this a little bit and you'll find it there.
Can I just quickly add something, Sandhya,
Sure,
in terms of
sure.
like, so people only think when they are, they're going to use this membership, global membership, just to facilitate this process. But it's
Yes.
beyond that. It's a great repository. For example, there's something called a coach finder. So
Yeah.
the moment you become an ACC coach, right, you can, the way you have, you see there are a lot of like, coach aggregator platforms where you really have to go through a process to be able to show up in their portal. You, once you become an ACC or a PCC and you have a valid global membership, you can be a part of that coach finder, right? And that's a great way for you to be available for your clients. And there are, you can do global volunteering. You can be a part of like global peer coaching system, and there are many things that you can do being a part of a local chapter, also having a valid global membership. So I would invite everybody to explore the links and think just beyond getting the ACC or the PCC credentialing. It's important, but once you become a global member, it opens a lot more avenues to develop as a professional.
Correct, correct. That's a fantastic point you added there. Yes, because you're right. A number of coaches just get the membership to get the discount. But having your profile right there to get updates from the ICF for all of these things is good. It works well. Be part of the coach finder. Lots of benefits.
And there are awards also for coaches as well. Okay, very quickly. So the awards, you need to be continuous members for 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years. And it just the rules have changed this last month. So there are loads of, maybe we can do another webinar on
We can do
the
that.
membership as well. Why to have the global membership? What is the benefit?
Correct. We could do that, definitely. Yes, so we'll handle membership after we have demystified the exam as well, Debyshi. Right?
That's so important. Like,
Yeah.
I gave it last time when we did this webinar. I was not a PCC, right? So this webinar helped me so much. And right after that, like in October end, November, I gave my CKA. So it's an experience which it's very important, because the time between me completing my the recording being approved to giving the exam was very less. Like in 18 months, from ACC to PCC, I moved within a year. Okay, so maybe in the next webinar, we can talk about that. I am happy to share my pain points and how the chapter and how, having Sandhya and having an ecosystem of people who are giving you that information, that awareness about this process helped. But not in this one, next one, right, Sandhya?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, although we have told you what application path to follow, how are you going to identify your coach education program, training? How do you, because, when you write the name of the program that you have done in your application form, you don't manually type it in. It's a drop down. You need to find it there, correct? And how do you identify which path you're going to take? So ICF helps you. There's this place in the corner you'll find when you go to the credentials page, it says apply now. And that's the link we are sending to you right now. ICF Credentials and Standards actually offers these multiple paths, but they are also helping us identify which is the correct one for us. So Sunita, with all of that, that fantastic number of qualifications you have and the programs you've done, I would urge you to take the survey and you'll know exactly what application path to take. Your application path is going to depend on the accreditation, the programs you have done, and all of that. All the education has to be entered there, written there, and they will guide you to the correct application.
Sandhya, I have to stop you because there's a question which has popped up. Is something that people would need to know. If not renewed, can you claim to be an ICF certified coach, like Prem is asking? And the second question followed by Rajneesh is that, so for any reason, right, if if one applies for the renewal post the expiry of ACC, what is the disadvantage or the handicap? So there are many ways to answer this question, Sandhya. Maybe in terms of credentialing process, what is that you'd like to share?
So one, Rajneesh, they give you a grace period for a month. And what has worked best as part of process is that you write into them that you are looking at applying for this and you're unable to, for whatever reasons, whether your 40 CCUs are not available or you haven't completed it, for whatever reason, please write to ICF and ask them to give you an extension or a grace period. Normally, what I've noticed, it works. Once the credential expires, that may be a more complex process. So write in before, and the other way to do this is to go in for the next level of credential if it expires. If it expires, then you're somewhere between ACC and PCC. And you add to your coach training hours, your education, and apply for PCC.
And if I may add, like from the industry point of view, a lot of people would check whether you have a valid ICF certification or not. And again, coming to the awards, they are going to check. So everybody goes on the coach finder, or there's a way actually to check whether the registration is valid or not. So that's something which ICF, being the gold standard, is spreading the awareness, and people who are taking these services make it a part of their checklist. So that's how it is. But having said that, it doesn't stop anybody from doing the practice and the competencies. But to to be able to write that you are an ICF accredited coach, one ideally should, say what is the expiry date. Like, if you're still practicing, maybe you can, share that. But yeah, that's what we can share right now.
This entire profession, Debashi, is based on an honor system. Correct? So can I say that I am something when I'm not? Is a different discussion altogether.
Yes,
Because
that's right. Yeah.
it's a different discussion, because then it's better to not say anything than say anything incorrect. Correct? Yeah. Debish, sorry, Rajneesh, does that help?
Yes, Sandhya and Debishi, thank you very much. It is very helpful.
Thanks. Great. I'm sure, Prem, that answers your question as well. So how do we do this? There is that apply now tab that's on the rightmost corner of your, once you're in the credentialing page, all the options there, it's the last one. And here's the link in your chat box for that. So
yeah,
take that survey. It will lead you to your correct application.
So Sandhya, we're coming to the end of the webinar, and
Yeah.
there are a couple of questions which we haven't answered very quickly. Can I take a
Sure.
question? Urvashi is saying, Urvashi call, she's from our chapter. I always feel there is an ambiguity regarding the path, member benefits, and so much more. Could these be streamlined well by ICF on the website? One needs to explore so much after the interval. There are definitely chances of missing some important information. Can I answer that, Sandhya?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so Urvashi, a lot of things like, PAC from the regional team and Magda, like everybody's in conversation. And I'm sure like you're also aware that, we're going to have more consolidated information as One India website, like, India, like countrywide websites. And there are a lot of things which are changing to make it easy, navigation made easy, but it's not done yet. But what your
pipeline
suggestion is right. Yeah, but there's work in progress, and I believe like you're also volunteering for the India website to become smart. So yes, we hear you, and we will all do it together. Quick question. Any questions? If I've missed any question, feel free to raise your hand and unmute yourself and speak. There are a lot of questions. I love this conversation, and I love the curious people who are there. Anybody who has put in a question in the chat box and we are not being able to answer, please raise your hand. Anybody out there? No questions? Right, Sandhya. So maybe you can like quickly share the rest of it and we can conclude.
Sure. Yeah. So how to identify the accreditation type? Because, when you're taking the survey, the next question is, what did I just do? What does my education mean? So I won't say this is step 1, step 2, step 3. I would say that all of these 3 things need to be done. You need to be conscious of all of it. If you are not aware whether your program is approved as an ACS, as a level 2 program, or your organization is approved as a level 2 program or a level 1 or an ACSTH, ask them. Ask them, write to them, reach out to your coach education provider, check with your mentor what certificate needs to be uploaded with the application. Ask, because there is no question that is, silly or irrelevant. If it's come to your mind, then it is relevant. It's as simple as that. Locate your program. You'll have, you'll find that in your, it's part of one of the pages that we've given you a link to. check your certificate. It will say everything and you might just be able to find it. So fill in that information in the survey and then they'll guide you to the correct application. So in conclusion, of course, before I take all of those questions, if there are any more, I believe that embracing the power of the ICF credentials is a transformative step in your coaching journey. Because what this credentialing journey is really not about the client or anyone outside. It is our journey. It's an internal journey. Because believe me, you can take your client only as deep as you've been yourself. When you go through mentoring, you are really going to understand the nuances of each competency. It is not just a must-do syllabus from ICF. Every competency, every skill, there is a reason for that. And for that, you need mentoring. And of course, when you have that credential, of course, head held up high, stand out, gain recognition, and elevate your coaching practice to new heights, and in all the ways that Debashi just mentioned right now. It would be a great idea. Again, I reiterate, join the global community and just unleash the catalyst within. And of course, thank you all so much for signing in from different parts of the world. And
I've shared
all
the
the
feedback
best.
form. And thank you so much, Sandhya. And I could see that, questions you have made people think, right? So they were always curious, but I think the framework, the logically thinking about what should I do is started. Thank you so much, everyone. I would want everybody to come on camera because our sessions from Delhi NCR are never complete without seeing your smiling faces. So Amy, Ruby, Vivek, Damal, Urvashi, Kenneth, Sweta, Rajneesh, Sangeeta, why don't you, come on the camera? So, okay, so this is, now how do I do it? I have two screens in front of me. So screen one, okay. Sapnil, do you want to come, show a smile, show us a smile, right? Okay, so Lauren, you can smile. I love the picture that you have at your background, so it's time to smile. So ready, steady, and say, yeah. Nice. Urvashi, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Nice. And hold on, I have another screen where there are people with their excited heart and smiling face waiting. So Bosco, Rima, Urvashi, Sweta, right. One more time, Ruby. Nice smile. Hello, Jeffrey. Nice. Marsha, one more time. Very nice. Thank you so much. It was lovely meeting all of you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sandhya. Thank you, Debashi, for organizing this and great information here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And we look forward to seeing you for the next one. We will be announcing that soon. And the email ID, of course, is available. Just write into us anytime.
And reach out to us on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
That's the
reach
place
out to
you
us
will
on LinkedIn.
see very active. We kind of share all the chapter activities that we're doing, the inspiration, so inspired action that you could see. The world needs more coaches, more now than ever. So we would like to, make whatever is stopping you, whatever is a bottleneck, go away, make it easy. And you can always come for an online session, and happy to meet us if you're in Delhi. And yeah, That's what the chapters are for. It's home for all the coaches. So I hope all of you, are feeling the safe space to go to the next level. And any questions that you have, you can always reach out to Sandhya and me. Anything else, Sandhya, you'd like to share?
No, I think we are good for now. And if there are any questions on the application parts, feel free to write in.
Great.
Thank
So
you.
see you 2 weeks from now, talking about the exam and demystifying the rest of the journey. If you have any questions, please write to us so that we can address it within the session itself. Thank you. Stay bright. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sandhya, do you want to stay on for a sec, or should I speak with you on LinkedIn?
Is that Lauren?
Lauren. Yes.
We'll speak with, I'll talk to you later.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you both for
Thank
today. It
you.
was
Bye-bye.
wonderful.